Dude, what are you doing?
I'm doing the intro, man.
What's it doing?
Oh, don't worry about it. I got this.
I don't know if I like that, dude.
Dude, it's done. Shut up.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I like that. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the NMP project. This is episode 4. So today we're just going to jump right in and talk about what he found on... What did you find?
This is by far one of the strangest things we've found, and definitely the strangest thing we've talked about on here. Basically, they got those fitness trackers for everything these days. Everyone's using them or buys them, whether or not they're actually using them.
Yeah, Fitbit, the hell's the other one that we talked about last week that they charged wirelessly?
Charged wirelessly.
The hell was that?
Jabber? I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
Either case, they got a bunch of them. This one is made specifically. Actually, there's 2 of them. These are made specifically to track your sexual performance. We're dubbing it the Fit Dick. I mean, they got 2 different ones that 2 different companies are making, essentially. One of them you wear on your wrist like anything else. One of them actually just fits around your dick like a cock ring. Don't know how I feel about that. But apparently they both track, like, the amount of time you spend doing it, how often you do it, the amount of calories you burn. I guess that one's somewhat useful. But, like, what market is out there?
The porn industry, dude.
I guess. To track how much they work or something. I don't know.
I think would sell lights out at the mansion.
But it's by far one of the strangest things, and I debated whether or not we wanted to talk about it here. It was too weird not to bring up, so there it is. The sex tracker Fit Dick extravaganza. I don't know. There's not really much that can be said other than it just tracks the calories and stuff like that. It works just like any other fitness tracker. It's just bizarre and weird. And
you think that they would just use a regular fitness tracker? Like, that's what the whole purpose of that thing is to do, is to track your calorie burns, your movement.
Well, this one does fit around your wrist. They got 2 of them, like I said earlier. So, essentially, yeah, they could build something into Fitbit. Fitbit, get on it.
Does it come with a little elastic strap so you can stretch it out for your wrist and or the second function?
I don't know. Not this one. This one looks weird. Put a screenshot of it here again. But it basically looks like an arrowhead with a circle in the center of it, and you just slip your dick on it.
I didn't realize that's what it was.
Yeah. I don't know how you wear it in terms of orientation, but
the future is now.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it could, if you wanted to get one that was small enough, it could second as a cock ring. I mean, it'll track and do whatever that stuff does on it. Anyway, it's there. It exists. Enjoy for your enjoyment, I guess, if you're into that sort of thing. I'm
sure that thing is going to sell. Never.
Maybe not outside the porn industry.
Yeah, I don't see that thing having a long lifespan.
Yeah.
At all. And then I bet you any money they developed that privately. Like, they didn't have a Kickstarter campaign, because then every single person that would be on there, it would be evident that they have different needs.
Here's the thing about the internet. If you put something like this on Kickstarter, I guarantee you it'll go way over budget in terms of funding. It'll be funded like mad, but nobody will buy this thing.
Yeah, it'll be funded like mad. Nobody would buy it except for the people who funded it. And I guarantee you, any money, the people that you like scroll through of who donated the money are probably going to look like child molesters.
Yeah, probably.
I guarantee, like, the big glasses, the creepy haircut. Ew.
Oh my god. That's too bizarre, though.
I love it.
So, links below.
Love it.
Enjoy if you're interested in the Fit Dick.
Yep, if you're excited about that, make sure to click like on this video.
Yeah!
And subscribe for all your Fit Dick updates.
I'm gonna laugh when we're half our subscriber base just clicks that button for that.
If you'd like to see a live demo.
We won't be doing a live demo here. You gotta go elsewhere. Maybe we'll link to one later.
I don't even want to. Oh, that site would be infested with malware and nastiness. Good.
Anyway, what you got? In other news.
Now we're going to jump into the science realm. We have NASA has sent their little satellite probe thing to Ceres.
Very, very scientific.
A satellite probe thing. It's a technical term. They call it that. Ceres is, for those of you who don't know, it's a dwarf planet in between Mars and Jupiter in the asteroid belt. It's like the only... I guess there's a few other ones, but like this is one that like they've been interested in for a while. So this whole mission, it's like the second stage of mission. It originally was tracking this asteroid, and then part 2 of it, they sent it to this dwarf planet. And this planet has brought nothing but mystery to them because they've been scoping it out. I don't know if you ever saw the photos of it. They don't have it on here. But there are...
All those lights?
Yeah, those bright spots that are on the surface that they don't know.
Seen this. They have no idea what those bright lights are.
Yeah, they don't know anything about it. They assume that it's probably ice reflecting off
the lens or something.
Yeah, something like that off the surface of it. But this particular article, talks about if their white spots are salty deposits or ice. Obviously, we won't know for quite some time. The thing just got there 10 days ago.
Hooray!
That it's like close enough, and images are still pouring in, and then now they gotta wait for all the data and all this stuff like that. Because this thing would be capable of figuring out because it was tailing an asteroid, checking, reading like what it had and everything on there. I'm not sure how long this mission is, but it's still an interesting little article. And there are all sorts of theories online about what it is.
Conspiracy theories, I'm sure.
Yeah, like, alien, it's an alien base and all this stuff like that, Why would they make a base in an asteroid belt? I mean, look at that thing. It's
massive.
It's not massive.
Oh, no, those lights are massive.
It's beat up. Like, why would you make that your...
No one would suspect it, man. No one.
Dude, that's like... I was going to say it's like living in Tornado Alley, but people live there. Like, why would you do that?
But people do the weirdest stuff. I mean, aliens, I'm sure, do the weirdest stuff, too. Probably weirder. Especially to our standards.
I don't know. I don't know what... Obviously, there's probably a logical explanation of what it is, and it's probably ice. That's
I don't know, man. There's a lot of things that should have some type of logical explanation that we still don't know.
The thing that interests me the most is I remember being in like 5th grade, and they said the water that you drink has like molecules and bacteria and whatnot in it.
Yeah.
That, it's living organisms that you're drinking. And I remembered that because it grossed me out. And I'm like, that's disgusting. But, then they're like, oh, there's ice on Mars. Is there life there? Well, shouldn't there be if there's life in water?
Well, I don't think there's currently ice on Mars.
Yeah, there is. They got ice caps.
Are they?
Yeah.
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 As far as I knew, they knew ice was there. Whether or not it's still there was something
No, they
else,
knew water was there. Ice is still there
no shit.
Under the surface of it.
Learning something new every day, man.
And it's cold there because it's not as close to the sun, so all the water would have either evaporated or froze at the ice caps just like on Earth. So...
I guess we'll find out.
I don't know. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Learning more and more about the universe every day.
You'll never stop learning about it.
No. What was it? Bill Nye just had his solar sails.
Yeah, solar sails were funded.
Yeah, those were good.
Within a matter of hours or like 2 days max or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I think that concept for solar sails has been around forever at this point.
Yeah, because it was someone's original design from
way back in the day. But it wasn't really tested or brought to fruition until now, kind of thing. And it's interesting to see what they do with it and what they're able to accomplish with it. So, science rules. Just like Bill Nye, which is now on Netflix, by the way. Check those out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The thing It would be plasma rockets. That is the future of space travel, because right now, going off of regular jet propulsion, it takes to get to Mars like 8 to 9 months.
Yeah.
If you had the plasma rocket, which is what they've been working on for like the last decade.
Plasma rocket. Which one was that? Like, how does that one work?
It uses
plasma, obviously.
Yeah, it uses plasma, but it burns hotter, and it's a faster takeoff.
Okay.
So if they left Earth with a plasma rocket to get to Mars, they would make it there in a little over a month.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like 45 or 48 days or something it would take. Like, that is huge.
Yeah. Hey, if it works, it works. No, I remember reading this one article. I wish I remember what it was, but it was basically proof of concept. And for whatever reason, physics here are different in space, I guess, because they did the math and they're like, this shouldn't work at all. And they tried it and it freaking works. They have no idea why or how. But it was something to do with magnets, and somehow they used magnets to generate an infinite power.
I remember reading that.
Yeah, propel yourself forward in space, essentially. Mm-hmm. And it takes like no power, no nothing. It's just all magnetism, and it makes no sense. But for whatever reason, it works in space. It's not very fast, but the fact that it has the potential to have an infinite...
Yeah, like an idol, basically.
Yeah, it's interesting, because you could incorporate that, and that way you won't ever get stranded in space completely. You'll be drifting, have a way to at least drift somewhere.
Here, the Vasmer. 200 megawatt engine could reduce duration of flight from Earth to Jupiter or Saturn from 6 years to 14 months, and Mars from 6 months to 39 days.
That is a huge jump.
That's a fucking speed. Cakewalk. That's a fucking spacewalk.
Spacewalk!
Hey! Ah! Anyway.
Science.
Yeah.
Bill Nye.
I don't want to do science, but I love reading about it.
True that, man. Science is hard.
Yeah. I ain't got time.
That's off to you scientists out there. Thank you for everything.
Yeah.
Seriously.
You guys, You guys are the real MVPs?
Pretty much. MVP!
Alright. Moving on to you now.
Speaking of science.
Oh, yes.
Mirrors and transparent displays.
I originally had this article, but he was crying before we started filming, so I let him keep it.
I'm not even gonna respond to that. I'm not even gonna engage that.
You're just making yourself more guilty.
Anyway, basically these mirrors, they got mirrors with displays now, as well as transparent glass with displays. The cool thing I was reading about these mirrors is they actually have like 3D tracking. What?
Glass is always transparent.
Oh, transparent glass. Whatever. You can get frosted glass. Get out of here, kid. Anyway, you can get these mirrors with displays, and they're cool. No, essentially, they're marketing these first initial mirrors to clothing stores and stuff like that. Basically, it also has 3D camera tracking, so it can track your position. And the market is like you could actually use these displays to see different clothing and stuff like that.
Yeah, and make it look like you're wearing it.
Yeah, make it look like you're wearing it and cycle through stuff, and you can actually move around, and it'll actually move what you're wearing on with it, kind of thing.
Turn it around like on catwalk.
It's a wild, radical concept, and if they pull it off, it's awesome, because I want something like this in my house, and that way I can do.
They could do that with anything.
Yeah,
anything that you would wear. Like, they're showing a ring on the photo. If, like, you're some girl at the store, earrings, you know, what it looks like trying these earrings on, a necklace.
Pretty much anything you can wear on your body, they can project onto you into this mirror, which is cool as hell.
And that will make fashion sell like no other.
Like hotcakes.
Because, it will make you look better wearing it on the screen, but in reality, you look like a douche.
Now just wait. Not only is it gonna, put that stuff on you, but it's gonna Photoshop for you. So, it's
gonna make your face look better.
Airbrush, all that stuff. I mean, Your phones these days, a lot of people's phones, they have
The app does that.
yeah, their camera has built-in Photoshop mode where it airbrushes and all that other stuff. It's wild, the stuff that's happening in terms of, your self-image and stuff.
You're never
like that.
gonna know what someone looks
Actually
like in a
looks
matter
like.
of years. Yeah.
Well, that's the way internet is these days anyway. Everybody's photoshopping and putting their pictures up
true,
there.
but now people who don't know how to Photoshop are photoshopping.
That's true.
That's what I'm getting at.
That's just the world we live in, Mike.
I know.
It's the world we live in. Not sure how I feel about it, but
Photoshop selfies and plasma rockets to Mars. Yeah.
yeah.
What a day and age.
Don't forget the fit dicks.
Oh yeah, and the fit dick.
Oh man, I love technology.
We're gonna go so far.
I'm glad we let him fit dicks because if we closed on that, I don't know how I'd live with myself.
The cool thing though, like you see the transparent TV.
Yeah.
I like that. That looks really sharp.
It looks cool, but I don't know what the practicality of that is.
Well,
like,
in their screenshot that they showed, they have it in front of a window. I don't want to get blinded by light trying to watch something. I think that would be something more along the lines of like a wall mount style thing. If they had like in the four corners of the TV, you have the mounts, mount it to your wall. I don't know. It would almost be like a projection style viewing.
Yeah, but at that point, why would you not just get a projector? It's got to be considerably less than something like this.
But projector quality is not, unless you're AMC or MJR, you're not going to get a good projector digital.
You'd be surprised, man. You'd be surprised.
Look up a price right now of a digital.
You can get
projector.
decent ones for like $1,000. That's about the price of a 60-inch TV.
Yeah, it depends on what one you buy.
Oh yeah, but the same thing goes with projectors. They're just like any other thing. Anyway, we're getting off track. Anyway, this thing is cool. Invest in it, I guess. I don't know.
It's cool that it's like sci-fi.
Yeah, it's extremely sci-fi, but I can see this like on the side of buildings with
That's
like,
what they're
windows.
using it right now as. Yeah.
On the windows, instead of having a giant poster that goes down, just have all the windows with this technology built in, and then you can project anything you want onto it.
Yeah, that's exactly what. Like, if you look up pictures of it's in Japan, the Shibuya Square.
Yeah,
All the building fronts up there have the clear glass displays. So like they have, like a 60-story tower that has the whole front of it with those, and it just plays animations of things moving around. Like that's their Times Square, and it looks awesome.
Shout out to them.
All the Shibuyans.
Shibuya.
Yeah.
That just sounds funny, Shibuya. I'm gonna start using that.
Shibuya!
Shibuya!
Alright. My turn?
Go for it. What you got?
This one just seems like a nightmare wrapped in good news. Twitter is raising the direct message character limit to 10,000 characters from 140.
Direct message, 10,000 characters.
One, I rarely use direct message unless I'm asking someone a question and I don't want it broadcasted. Like the guy we did last week, how I shot him in there.
Yeah.
I sent him a direct message, but I have no problem sending two because I hit my character limit. But the thing that I see a problem with are the spammers. You're just going to get this huge thing, and I've gotten direct messages from people that I did not follow.
Yeah.
So I don't know how the hell they do that because I thought you had to be following each other in order to communicate privately.
I honestly don't know. I don't use direct message at all. I think I've used it twice in the entire lifespan of Twitter.
Yeah, I get if people are trying to get something across, I guess it's cool, but I just see spammers spamming.
Yeah, there's definitely that potential there. Hopefully Twitter is good with keeping those guys out. You're not going to be able to keep them out entirely, but hopefully they're pretty decent with it. But it's essentially another email at that point. That's what it's going to become. It's another source or another email type like...
I bet you any money... Twitter's been around since what, like 2007?
for a while now. I have no idea when they came out.
I think they're closing in on like a 10-year birthday or something. But
Yeah.
I bet you any money now that they're going to do this with the 10,000 character limit that they will have the ability to attach stuff into it. Attachments, like an email.
Probably. Just because back when Twitter came out, it didn't support pictures natively. It didn't support videos natively. It does all that now. So, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, Twitter compared to when we first started using it was... It was cool because you got to, follow celebrities who were actually legitimately sharing stuff. But then it just turned into once it blew up, it just turned into this shit fest of stupidness.
It's marketing now.
Oh,
That's all it is marketing. Hashtag this, hashtag that. And honestly, I still use Twitter more than probably any other social media out there, but I use it as like an RSS feed.
Yeah.
Like I follow certain websites like Gizmodo or Kotaku or IGN, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, cool news that's going on. That's how I find half these segments is through Twitter or through Flipbook, which accesses my Twitter.
Flipboard.
Flipboard. Why do I keep calling it Flipbook? Flipboard. Shout out to Samsung. But yeah, that's where I get a majority of my articles from, is because it's an easy place to go for that information. I don't really follow people. I follow the companies for cool stuff that's going on. I mean, sometimes people I will follow just to see what they're up to, but for the most part, I ignore them.
Yeah. Definitely.
Screw them, peoples. Speaking of companies that are doing stuff with their lives, Blackberry is coming over to the Android side. They're finally throwing out their OS, and they're like, we've succumbed to the Android gods. And they're going to come out with a Blackberry that runs Android OS, which is interesting.
I didn't even know Blackberries were so relevant. You
Exactly.
used to have them.
I used to run Blackberries for a while. I absolutely loved them. I miss my tactile keyboard. I really do. This new phone that they got is basically
a rebirth of your old one.
Yeah, it's very similar to the Curve or the Bold, if you guys are familiar with that at all. But basically, the top portion of the phone is the screen, and the bottom portion is the standard BlackBerry keyboard. So yeah, I'm all for it. I mean, because you get the Google
Is it
apps.
still? It's touchscreen still, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still got the touchscreen and all that. But you essentially get Google Apps and you get the tactile keyboard, because some people just don't like typing on these things. I don't.
It
like
took me a
typing
little
on the
bit
screen.
to get used to. I don't like when I got this phone, the 6 Plus. Typing vertically is nice, but when you go to type horizontally,
Yeah,
it's too much.
it's too big.
It's too big.
This phone's the size of my head. I got the Note 4. It's gigantic.
Look at that.
Yeah, I got these small Asian hands. I can't do that.
Yeah, because if I were to hold it like a normal thing, I gotta like stretch my fingers out to hit things. I don't necessarily like it. I'm not going to show you what I'm in because I have people in there
Ooh,
that I
baby.
talk to.
But yeah, so tactile keyboard, I mean, that alone is worth the comeback. I'd like to see BlackBerry not go under. They're really struggling right now, which is why they're making this move, and I think it's a smart move on their part. Maybe they'll come out with a BlackBerry version that runs iOS. No.
Apple
won't allow that.
Yeah, they're tight-lipped on that shit.
But, hats off to them. Hopefully this works out for them, because they make good phones. I used to run BlackBerrys for the longest time. They're great phones.
I was always just confused. Whenever I would hold your phone, I'd be like,
What is this?
I don't...
See, BlackBerry was cool back when iOS and Android really wasn't too big of a thing, because it was an open market at that point. There was no dominant OS building with companies throwing apps at it left and right.
Yeah.
Now that those are out there, it's kind of like Windows and Apple, clashing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. Windows Phone is still a thing, too, isn't it? Wow.
Surprisingly.
I
read something the other day about some app coming out. They're like, oh, we're going to run it on...
Windows Phone.
No, we're going to run it on iOS and Android, and then it dawned on me. I was like, "Is the Windows Phone existing still?" And I looked it up. And I was like, "Son of a bitch, it is." Like, sucks to be those people.
it really does still exist. I don't know how it's gonna play out because it's interesting to see with Microsoft 10. I love and hate you, Microsoft, so much. With Microsoft 10, they basically want to unify everything into one grand scheme.
That's what they did with 8.
No, well, that's what they wanted to try to do with 8. The problem is Windows 10 already fucked up. Because they say they want to unify everything, but right off the bat, they got 3 or 4 different versions of Windows 10 for PC. If you want one unified thing, make one version, maybe 2. Personal use and enterprise use. That's it. I don't need professional. I don't need home. I don't need media center or whatever else they're coming out with. Just make one standard. Keep it standard. Like, you got all these different OSs or different types of OSs, and it just confuses people.
Yeah.
There's no need for it. Kind of like the Wii and the Wii U. Confuse the hell out of grandparents buying stuff for their kids.
Yeah, they just assumed it was an add-on
for the longest time.
To the Wii, yeah.
For the longest time, people thought that tablet was the Wii U, and you just bought it for the Wii. I mean, it's confusing to the market out there, so you guys need to stop that.
Yeah,
stop confusing us.
Poor name planning on that.
Yeah, we're simple people, simple minds. Stop it.
But then again, people were smart enough to figure out Xbox and Xbox 360, and then
Xbox One.
Yeah.
See, that's poor marketing again on your. That's
what I call
second
the
strike
original.
Microsoft right here. This
that's
video.
the original Xbox's name.
Yeah.
I always call it. After 360 came out, I was like, "Oh, Xbox One," or the first Xbox. Like,
that confuses the hell. I mean, I understand what you're trying to do, but it confuses people. But anyway, BlackBerry, Android, awesome. Let's see where it goes.
Hopefully, somewhere
positive.
I am in the sci-fi mood. Last night, like I told you, we went and saw Jurassic World.
I still gotta see that.
And the trailer that caught my eye, because like I said, I love science and all that kind of stuff, is a new movie coming out with Matt Damon called The Martian. I'll read you the little thing from IMDb. During a manned mission to Mars, astronaut Mark Watney is presumed dead after a fierce storm and is left behind by his crew. Watney survived and finds himself stranded alone on the hostile planet. With only meager supplies, he must draw upon his ingenuity with wit and spirit to find a way to signal the Earth that he is alive. The trailer looked interesting. It definitely caught my eye because, like, it started out, it showed all these people, I think there was like 6 or 7 astronauts or whatever, and they're like walking around on the surface. Storm blows in, he gets hit by something and gets lost, and they assumed he was dead, and they had to abort their mission and, flee the planet.
Get out of Dodge.
Yeah, so they pieced out, and then he wakes up sometime later alone, finds his way back to the base. NASA cut communication off with that whole mission because they aborted the mission. And they presumed him to be dead, so they have
crazy.
Yeah, no idea that he actually survived, and he has no way to communicate with them. And he starts keeping like this video diary, and was like, I don't know if anyone's ever going to find this. I'm just going to do it anyway. My first thing, I got food for like 6 weeks or something like that, and he's like, after that, I have to grow food on a planet that cannot grow food.
Good luck.
Yeah, how am I going to do that? And then it shows them, like, through the trailer, like, accomplishing what he needs to accomplish to survive. And
basically,
they didn't, in the trailer, they didn't elaborate how long he was there. But I'm definitely going to go see it. It comes out in October.
Sounds interesting.
Comes out in October 2nd to be exact. And Matt Damon usually makes good movies. I like him.
Check it out.
Like him as an actor on and off. Like I liked him in The Departed, but I didn't like him.
Great movie, Departed.
I didn't like him in like the third Bourne movie.
Yeah.
I liked him in the first one.
Honestly, the Bourne movies they got weaker as they went on. I
Yeah.
still enjoyed the series as a whole, but the first one, fantastic movie.
Yeah, this movie
Fantastic movie.
I will definitely be there. So I'll put a link to the trailer below. You guys can check that out. I'm sure you'll be in the same boat that I am and like it. So,
Hooray!
all right. What is you?
I got this one here. I thought it was cool. It's basically these guys are developing a wheelchair that can climb stairs. It's pretty interesting. If you guys can check it out on the links down here, but it's got treads on it, and it looks like a freaking tank as it's climbing these stairs. It's straight up wild. But I'm looking at it too, and I got this video here. I'm not gonna play the whole thing.
We always say that.
Well, I'm not gonna bother. I'm just gonna skip around. But if you actually look at this video, watch the video whenever you get a chance. Or should I just play it?
No, just
But check it out. Like, it's only got 2 wheels, so there's like a gyroscope on there that keeps it balanced, which is cool and all. But at the same time, what happens when you lose power? You're just sitting there, watching
Stuck.
TV, and then the power goes out, and you just step over.
stuck halfway up the stairs.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks, but it is interesting. It's still all project stage. They're developing it just to develop it, kind of thing. At a university. Let me see if I can find the name of the university.
It would be nice. I know you said it's all they're still
Zurich
testing it.
University, wherever that's at.
Where?
The Swiss Federal
Swiss.
Institute of Technology in Zurich University.
Zurich.
Zurich.
Come on, guy.
Um,
Civilized.
Whatever. Anyway, they're developing this. It's pretty sweet. Feel free to check it out. Links below. And yeah.
Could you imagine just seeing a row of people going up the single file lines?
Just these tank-like things. I mean, it's a pretty sweet-looking chair. It's got a light on it.
A brake light, just so
Just
people
for the
know
heck
that
of
you're
it.
stopping. Does it have 2?
Yeah, it only has 2 wheels. So there's got to be a gyroscope in there to actually keep it balanced.
Oh, look
Or
at him,
something.
dude. He's got like...
Yeah, but he's got these kickstand wheels that come down, and it boosts them up so he can see over ledges and stuff like that. I mean, it's cool and all.
So the brakes...
I don't know what the practicality of something like this is for the average consumer or user, because it's something like that for someone to buy is going to be expensive.
I'm sure there would be a program.
Yeah, there's got to be something
to help assist people with it, because I have seen a handful of people who roll solo in wheelchairs, and if a lot of businesses have the handicap ramps and stuff like that so that they can get up, but
yeah,
I think that would just be like another form of independence to where they're not.
It's definitely a step in the right direction for them.
Is that a joke?
What?
A step? Yo! Uncalled for.
Anyway, I mean, it's cool that they're making these strides.
It's a roll in the right direction.
Yeah, I guess so. But it's cool. And all. First thing they got to do for this thing, though, add the 2 front wheels, because the second the power goes out on something like this, if it runs on gyroscopes, they really don't say here. Actually, they don't even make any mention in this article I have here about it running on 2 wheels. It's mostly just an article about the treads and how it can climb stairs, which is cool. But yeah, I could just imagine somebody just chilling out, doing whatever, and then the power goes out and he just keels over. That's not cool, man. You don't want to be handicapped and then find yourself on the ground because you're out of juice. That's terrible. But cool nonetheless. We should just have this GIF play over and over again throughout the article.
The bottom of the loading screen.
Yeah, it's cool. Check it out. Links below.
Yeah, definitely.
That's all I got.
That is all I have as well. If you like what we're doing, click subscribe, and then make sure to like the video, and then watch the other videos, and then click like on those. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to go to the website and then click the contact link and shoot us an email. If you have any suggestions, if you want us to cover something in particular, if you have a quote, if you just want to know something different about us or anything along that nature, feel free
to tell us what you want to hear about. We just spit random jabble, like
if you want
fit trackers and wheelchairs that can climb stairs, and
if you want more technology based, if you want us to do something in particular, we
are all over the place with this show. I've noticed. Like
that's cool by me though.
We keep it open ended here.
Yeah, more rounded, to talk about different things, And at least I like to think we know what we're kind of talking about. I don't really know if we do. I'm sure there are some people who have watched this and be like, these guys are idiots. Like, they don't know what they're talking about. So, going back to episode 1, I'm going to correct myself here now. I remember saying it was kind of a Tarantino effect where they showed the ending first. That's an M. Night Shyamalan trait. Not Quentin Tarantino.
Tarantino doesn't do things in order either.
No, but his movies are a regular movie path. The intro, climax, and all that kind of stuff. And that Shyamalan shows you the ending first, and then after that shows the rest of the movie that led up to the beginning. That's what he does. So I'm correcting myself on that. If anyone noticed that, I apologize.
Nobody probably noticed that.
Probably not.
Nobody watches M. Night Shyamalan movies anymore.
No, they do not. But I have been watching his new series that he directed.
He's got a series?
It's called Wayward.
Who gave this man a series?
Wayward Pines. It's on.
Ooh, he does that?
That good.
Looked interesting. I didn't know that was out yet. That's the one where he wakes up in that town he's not allowed to leave.
Yep.
Shout out to him.
That is good. That is good.
It's good. You know what it is? It's gonna be good up until the ending, and you're just like, well. He does that with a lot of his movies, I've noticed. He keeps you interested right up to the end. Like, I feel like he writes out the scripts, and then he doesn't know where to go with it at the end, and he's just like, well, it's because of these reasons that I just came up with on the spot.
Yeah, makes it to the end and says, go back to beginning.
Pretty much.
End.
Well, the thing is, like, some of them are really dumb. Like, The Village, a lot of people didn't like the ending to that.
Yeah.
Signs, as much as I enjoyed it, you're an alien race that's weakness is water, and that you invade the planet that's like 80% water. How does that work? Like, they got all this technology to come over here, but, they don't have the smarts to realize, hey, this is probably a bad idea.
Yeah, why don't they have spacesuits?
Yeah.
Anyway, think about that. That's about it until next week, and that's all I got.
Enjoy your day, week,
month,
year, summer,
decade.
Yeah.
Later.
Show up.
Is it recording again?
Looks like it.
Fuck!